This is Multiplaying episode 111, recorded on Friday, the 27th of February, 2015.
Everybody online, looking good.
A companion podcast to the collaborative blog and gaming community that's playing as life allows. This is Multiplaying.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
I had to take my kids to a sock hop.
I remember you do that every year.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you're a good dad.
As their school continues to put it on.
Keeps doing
They're
it.
incessant about this sock hop.
Do you get to run around in your socks?
They do. I don't do it.
You get a mallet to beat down all those socks?
I don't get it.
What?
Sock hop.
I'm not getting the pun. There must be a pun, right?
Because the socks hop.
Oh, the socks are hopping is what you're saying?
That's
okay.
Home run, Jason.
That was good. That was solid, baby.
Oh, I had the home runniest of homes today.
That's not good.
Like so much so that after I said it, I even thought I could hear Jason's voice in my head going, home run slurms.
You didn't earn that.
No, the story is going to start off real gross.
Oh, God.
I had to make a call to Roto-Rooter to take care of
Things.
our facilities.
Yes.
At where I work. I had to call them in to unclog something. And I had called and I was talking to their dispatch guy and I said, hey, I need you to come in to unclog this toilet that we got. I said normally our maintenance department here would take care of it, but we ourselves are a little backed up.
You're not going to give it to him? Jay?
Hot.
No,
No,
not hot.
It's
That's a
all
fucking
backed
home
up.
run.
That's why he needed the
Our
Roto-Rooter.
maintenance department was backed up.
You're not listening.
Yeah, no, I'm
Christ.
listening.
Aww.
It was a home run.
Home run.
That was a home run, Slurms. Good job,
I
Steve.
thought it was hot.
No,
It's not hot. And that'll be our
no,
lives.
trust me, it wasn't hot.
No, it's a home run.
Yeah, it was.
It
I
was.
know,
Yeah. I'm
'cause
still
I even
reeling
like
from my
the other
bad
guys-
home run.
You
Because even
are.
the other guys
He
in the
doesn't want to
office-
give it to you because he's jealous that his was not.
I understand the jealousy.
Yeah.
No, you
Oh, my-
earned it.
I did. Because, everybody else in the office was very pleased. They're like, oh, man.
Did you do the big grin? Like the
Yeah,
big,
I did.
yeah, and nod?
It was good stuff. Almost as good as my son's comment this morning. You guys have a cat. So, like when the cat washes itself, sometimes like
He's
the
so
cat's
pretty.
Huh?
Yeah, he's very pretty. He has to
Well,
be pretty.
sometimes you'll notice like the cat like licks it doesn't like the upper body portion of the cat when it tries to wash itself, it just kind of like rocks its head back and forth and licks as close as it can.
Yeah.
Or a cat was sitting there between my son and me, and it kept rocking its head back and forth doing it. And out of nowhere, my son goes, looks like the cat's going, inks, 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 inks.
Fuck yeah, home run, Slurms kid.
I was proud. Home run?
Cats are assholes.
This cat is the biggest. Got me up at 4 a.m. Brought me a pipe cleaner because he wanted to play fetch. Video games!
So welcome to Multiplaying 111. On the show, we have your regular co-host, Jason.
Hello.
Hello, Jason. What are you drinking?
Bud Light.
Fancy pantsy. Is
Yeah.
it in the can or the bottle or a draft?
I thought of a shoe.
It's a good year. The shoe years. We also have Steve. What is your beverage tonight?
What kind of shoe?
Oh, I'm sorry. There's follow-up questions.
It's not mine.
Alright. Did you pick it up at the Goodwill on the way home?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Alright. I have a White Russian that is slightly worse than
What's
the one
his
I
name?
had last. Home run, Jason.
Yeah.
Slightly worse than the White Russian that I had last week because I used heavy whipping cream instead of half and half.
You skim milk?
No, heavy
Oh.
whipping cream.
Oh. You don't like it?
I don't like it as much as
I'm
I do the half and half.
astounded. Well, wait. Do you, when you have milk, do you usually have whole milk or skim milk in your house?
2%.
Yeah, see, I'm from a whole milk family, so
Well, I
I
grew up.
probably like cream better than you. Like for me, it's good and yummy.
Grew up on a farm.
I grew up. My papa's a milkman, so
That's true. There you go.
we had like,
I grew up
yeah.
on a farmer's farm.
Used
if that,
to that
if
vitamin
that helps me
D.
beat you guys.
The what beat me, guys?
I'm saying I grew up on a farmer's farm. I just wanted to outdo you all.
Yeah.
I didn't. I grew up
You
on
didn't.
a regular
You
house.
grew up outside of a park, in town.
I had a milkman, though.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That's cool. I never had a milkman. But no, I think this is just, it thickens it a little too much for me, and I think that...
It's supposed to be thick.
No, well, no, not really. Because
Yeah.
Not for me. The half and half just made it like a kind of like coffee infused, like chocolate milk almost, is what it tasted like. But this is just too, like, leaving a film in my mouth.
You drink it the way you like it then.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. But I won't mess with your White Russian. Don't mess with my White Russian. Like, we'll just agree to disagree.
Yep. We just, next time I'm up, we'll make a bunch of them and we'll have White Russian roulette.
No, because I'm not drinking the half and half shit. And I'm sure you feel the same way about the heavy whipping cream. So we will drink our own beverages and be happy.
And label them so that we don't get them crossed.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll use a fancy girly drink glass or something. But for you.
Me?
For you.
Okay, I was about to say. So what are you drinking?
I just have some Glenlivet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Live it. Live it. Now you're a man.
What is... Okay. According to the docket, we have a note in here about WoW Twitters hit Tuesday. I'm assuming you put that in there? I don't know what that means.
All right. You're not on Twitter as much anymore.
No.
But the Twitter feature that we talked about last week that was supposed to go into WoW, it launched on Tuesday.
Okay.
I noticed this. Actually, I didn't know what day it was going to go live, but I figured it out because everyone and their mother had like screenshots from WoW posting on starting Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
It was like flooded WoW screenshot day.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where, like, if someone was doing this all the time, like, my first reaction was, oh my God, I love you and I have to unfollow you. Oh my God, you're so awesome, but I am going to unfollow you. But, I calmed down, took a few breaths, and realized this is new and this will pass. And I love these people. And so they're playing with new features. And actually, I do want to say, like, some people posted some really cool, like, they were using it very well. Like, it wasn't just... it wasn't like in Rift where it was like announcing every achievement you did.
That was the other game. I was just about to say, what was that other game that had the Twitter integration in it? Yeah, Rift. Oh my God.
And it was awful.
Amazing.
But no,
Yes.
people that I was following anyway, my experience was the people who were using it, they were using it a lot, but they were actually saying like it's showing really cool screenshots or saying something funny about the screenshot. And it was actually entertaining.
That's good.
But it was very obvious that it hit on Tuesday.
Well, yeah, I would have probably been more aware of that if I was if I was online, which I'm sorry, I'm not. I don't have a phone. So moving on from that, unless Jason, do you have anything to add with the WoW Twitter? Did you experience that at all?
No, it's a thing.
Great. Guild Wars 2. We want to talk quickly about that.
I have a lot of Guild Wars 2 to talk about. We got a little list.
Okay. I don't have a ton. They did update the game Tuesday, which was mostly just removal of the Lunar New Year. So that was kind of a bummer for me because I was on quite the luck gaining, or I'm sorry, the magic find gaining streak. Because if you were opening the envelopes that you could buy from the vendor in Divinity's Reach, everyone had like essences of luck. And I think I went from the beginning of the event, I think I had like 73 or 74% magic find, your account-based magic find, and by the end of it I had 85%.
Oh, I feel like a loser now. I got like 40-some%.
Yeah?
I didn't even use it.
No?
No. The whole event didn't appeal to me.
There wasn't much to it. I mean, it was
I
just
liked
that
the
was
little
my
ram pet. That's about it.
Yeah. Oh, you bought that, didn't you?
I did. I just had gems sitting in my account from the year before.
Yeah.
I still did that transfer and I still had like a little bit left over. So I thought, wow, I'll buy this pet.
Well, with all you had said the one time, I don't know if it was last episode or the one before about your integration of all your accounts. You had sold a bunch of dyes and then bought a bunch of dyes.
Yeah, I ended up making. I think we talked about this on a podcast already, though.
Right, but did you see the UI changes that they made for the dice?
Yeah, you'll be able to see exactly which dice you have left to purchase.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
What do you feel about that?
I
You
like
just want to
it.
buy more dies now?
Well, what I do is I actually go through. I'll do the sort feature on the shop to pull up all the dies, and then I sort them by lowest price, and I
Yeah.
just hover over them, and it already told you if you already owned it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So I was already kind of. This will make it easier, but I was
Yeah.
already kind of sorting through them before I purchased them, and I always sorted them cheapest to most expensive because I figured I would at least buy the cheapest ones first and get all those collected. And
True.
occasionally you would luck out and get one that was like a super steal. Someone listed it way too low. But,
Yeah. I know some people were like, this is anecdotal, but some people online were saying like they would actually then, since they had all those there that you could preview a little more easily on your character, people were noticing dies that they really never had chucked out on their character before, and then decided, oh crap, that looks so good, I want it now. So they went ahead and spent the money for certain dies.
costs are gonna fly for a little while.
They might, maybe.
I'll wait. I got good colors.
Yeah. So have you been doing anything interesting, either of you guys, in
In Guild Wars 2?
Yeah.
I in Guild Wars 2, I did want to talk about our featured podcast.
That's true.
So this week we are featuring the Guild Wars Reporter podcast. It is part of the MMO Reporter Network, and they have quite a few. If you're not into Guild Wars or Guild Wars 2, or you're not into MMO general podcasts, I'm not really sure why you're listening to us. But both of those podcasts are really good. You should check them out. But if you're not into either of those two, they also have other podcasts that are game specific, MMO game specific, that you should check out too.
I think they have a Lord of the Rings one, maybe, and then
A WildStar one.
Yep,
They a couple others too. But the Guild Wars Reporter one is the one we're featuring. They've been around since 2011, pumping out like regular content, good stuff, news, comments, community happenings. So on Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, they cover both. So really good podcast. Totally recommend checking them out.
yeah, and they're good people. We have, or I should say, I am actually gilded with those people in game, Pear and Celeste. So if you're listening, hello. They actually, when I was listening, when they initially record, they do something that we actually attempted to do a few times. They stream what they record for their podcast, and then they go back and edit it later. But when I was listening to the stream while I was playing Guild Wars the other night, they featured one of my stories from the Orator, which I thought was very nice, and that was kind of gave me the idea to go ahead and pat them on the back as well.
Give him an attaboy.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
big of you?
I know. Well, damn, make me feel like. a
But
piece of shit.
you can watch them record live on Twitch in all their Guild Wars glory every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, which is 9:30 p.m. Eastern, on their Twitch channel. Their Twitch channel, they have a shared Twitch channel. So if you go to www.twitch.tv/MMO Reporter, you can also check some of their other shows out as well. So
Yeah.
good stuff. One thing I should mention, I am also in that guild, and I messed up kind of big time this week.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So we had a few people from the Multiplaying crew mention that, like, long time ago when Guild Wars 2 first launched, you guys had all made a Circle of Trust, which is our guild name in Guild Wars 2. And we haven't been using it for years, but like a lot of us still are in that guild. We kind of just don't represent it. And it is a good way to at least see who's online, send someone a message and just say, you know, hey, do you want to group up? Like, so a couple of people said, like, well, can I get an invite just so I can see when y'all are online? Like, you don't have to represent or anything. And it's well known that we're not an active guild. So I'm like, sure, I'll throw some invites out. Well, I was online the other night and I was just logging in before bed, and I like to blame that I was really tired at the time, but I tossed some invites out, and being unfamiliar with the guild setup there, in Guild Wars 2, you can be in multiple guilds at once. I did not... I was in Okay, I was in my friends setting at the time, and I didn't. And over on if I right click on my friends, it would say invite to guild, and I'm like, cool. So I just went through my little friends list and invited everyone to get. Like I did like two or three. I wasn't sure, and then I realized like, oh wait, I'm not representing Circle of Trust on this character at this moment. I had accidentally invited them to the other guild.
Mock?
Yeah, and I didn't realize I had permission to do that or anything, so I was like, oh my god, and I went into panic mode, so I kicked him from the invites from the guild. Right, it was a Ruth, Grilled Cheese 28 and his wife, but I accidentally kicked one extra person, so I kicked an actual guild member.
Do you know who
that
it was?
didn't know who from the guild. Luckily, like, people were online. I'm like, hello, I am so sorry. I just meant, I explained, like, I totally accidentally invited my friends, and I just meant to kick them, and I kicked one extra. And they're like, it's not. They were so cool about it. They were like, it's not a big deal. It happens. We just reinvite him. It's fine. So, luckily, they were really, really awesome about it. But I felt,
oh god, we're trying to figure out a way to kick that guy out, but
I don't think so.
Oh.
But I felt terrible. Oh god, I just felt awful. Really embarrassing. Really embarrassing.
I didn't hear anything about that.
So then I switched over to representing the correct guild and sent the invites out, and everything was fine. But oh my god, I felt terrible. I kicked this poor man out of this guild.
Yeah, it's like he was climbing up a ladder
Just like,
into your window, and like as soon as he got in, you pushed the ladder back out. And let
He
him
wasn't
fall.
even.
Nope.
Doesn't even know who I am. I'm just like, screw you, pal. Oh, awful. So yeah. So we're featuring them. Yay. Please don't kick me out of the guild.
But hey, there's some other Guild Wars 2 news I want to bring up before we move on. Only took them a couple years, but first-person mode and the field of view options are coming to the game, finally.
Oh, for real?
Yes. They said in March we will have first-person mode and field of view options. So,
Wow.
people will probably start going nuts taking screenshots of the game. Because that's been, like, the biggest complaint from from people in the game. Just one of those, like, it seems petty, but at the same time, it's like, the game is so pretty.
Right. I've totally done that where I've, like, especially playing the last couple months, where I've found a frame of a shot where it looks beautiful, and I've tried to take a screenshot and scrolled in. I'm like, oh, yeah, you can't do that.
Right, yeah. It's really dumb that you couldn't do that. But now, in March, supposedly, they will patch that in, and everybody will be happy.
Yeah, I would imagine like no one's really going to play that way, especially the way you got to dodge in game.
No.
Just take screenshots. That'd be cool.
What I have done in a few other games is I'll do that first-person view and just capture like scenery moments, like chunks of time, instead of doing the stagnant picture on our for our YouTube for this. I had, and you would just see like maybe the wind blowing through the grass. It would be very, very subtle, but at least it's not just a stagnant picture. And I've been collecting some of those to kind of put in the background. But it always seems like whatever I collect isn't what we're talking about, so it doesn't make sense to put it in there. But Guild Wars 2 would be a really good one to use because we do talk about it quite often. Yeah. So we could, but that's something that's always hindered me is like, well, that it's going to look stupid. So
I think somebody was, I don't know if it was jokingly or not, but put something on there about doing jumping puzzles in first person, and I can't figure out if they're being serious, like if that would help or not. I can't imagine that it would, but other people were saying, like, and I think in some dungeon instances, certain angles, it might be better to throw yourself in first person mode. So I'm not sure. I don't run a lot of dungeons. I don't know what where the hindrance would be there, but regardless, just the pure and simple that we'll be able to take really nice screenshots now of the scenery in that game is great, because that's a beautiful game. But before moving on, one last thing. We're having a bit of a speculation on the Multiplaying forums about the professions coming up in the Heart of Thorns expansion of Guild Wars 2. Just kind of fun discussion about like what character or what weapons would you like to see each of the classes use? What do you think would be cool? Kind of talking about what's already known with the Rangers getting a Druid spec, necromancer's getting the greatsword. What would that mean? So if you want to join in the discussion, go to the Multiplaying forums and check out the Guild Wars 2 section.
My necromancer gets a great sword. That's what I'm leveling.
That's what they're getting.
Yeah, I know.
They have already confirmed that, but
it hasn't happened yet. I mean, when it happens, because my necromancer, I think, is in her mid-30s now, so yeah. I gotta get my...
I switched back to mine, because I was playing the ranger pretty hardcore, but I'm hoping that means more tanking for the necro class. More like Death Knight. So
it'd be cool.
That's my hope. But moving on away from Guild Wars 2.
Before we leave Guild Wars 2, I gotta say, we talked maybe a month ago about how we had missed the sale for getting when they had Guild Wars on sale for $10.
Oh yeah, because you said something about wanting to get it for your son.
Yes, and I gotta give a huge thank you to Dean, who had heard that. And he had bought a code for his nephew, hoping he would like it, but his nephew wasn't interested, and he sent us the code for our son.
Awesome.
So I got it downloaded, and took me a while to get it downloaded, but I got it downloaded, and my son's excited to try it, so we're going to try to play with him this week. So thank you, Dean.
Yeah, awesome, Dean. We love you, Dean.
Longtime listeners will remember Dean. He's a co-host of the Multiplaying podcast as well. We're hoping to get him on here soon. And
yeah, totally.
He seemed cool about coming back on the show again. So
yeah, we want him on.
Dean's awesome.
He is awesome. I guess interim discussion. How was your son? Because you guys got your son a computer for was it Christmas?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He also got a PlayStation 4 game. It's a WWE game at the same time, and he has been so fixated.
He's finally started to burn out on that.
Finally, but it's been since Christmas. That's all he wants to play is this
past
wrestling
week,
game.
He finally kind of stopped playing it, and he's been playing some Minecraft. I got him Plants vs. Zombies when it was on sale at Christmas, and I'm hoping he tries
Garden Warfare?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because he played that because I have an Xbox One, and he's played on there. That's the only shooter I let him play, and I turned off voice chat just because it's not killing real people.
Yeah.
So I got him on there. I got it for PC on there. So he's starting to kind of gravitate towards the PC more now. So I'm hoping that getting Guild Wars going, and he's been playing Minecraft with Shannon. They have a new server they're playing on. He's been excited about. So I'm hoping he starts playing it more. But he's definitely got the money's worth out of the WWE game. Yeah. Oh my god, he's played so much of that.
Well, that's good.
He's unlocked the whole thing. Everything is unlocked.
Yeah, he unlocked the last thing, and he was telling me this past week. He's I don't know what to play anymore. I'm well, Matt, that's kind of how it goes with those games. You played a ton of it. I was trying to tell him it's okay to play something else.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Last week at lunch, we were out, and he was talking about wanting to have this PvP area in the Minecraft server we're on. And so I said, well, we could build an arena, and people could shoot bows and arrows. And he's but could there be hills and stuff inside the arena? I'm yeah. So we're gonna what we did was we sectioned off this big 100 by 100 square area of the desert, and then put walls around it, and then the inside is just still natural. But he wants to cut it out and make it all black, so it's still dark and eerie. So even wherever there's a sand square, he wants to take it out and put either carpet or a black wool square to make it all black inside there. So the ground's all black, so it looks kind of laser tag-ish is what he's kind of going for with the look.
Yeah.
And then we put lava on the corners and fire on the edges. But I was going to talk to you about this. Your daughter's also playing on the same server with us.
Yeah, she just started playing on there.
One morning we were logging in to play, and this house was built on our wall. And I'm oh, that's not cool. And I wasn't sure who else was playing on the server, so I asked you about it. And you said you talked to her about maybe moving her house, and she was cool with it, and you guys moved her house.
Yeah, she stopped crying, she was fine.
Oh, really?
No, just kidding.
Did she actually move her house, or did she just leave? Because the house is still there.
She built a different one.
Okay, but the house... So it's okay for us to... Because we're going to,
What? Maybe it's the wrong house.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that she moved the wrong house. Like maybe
it wasn't her house.
Right. Maybe we made this assumption and it was someone else's house.
Okay.
Because there's a few other people playing.
Demolition truck's gonna come to her house. She's gonna cry. Like, I'm not even anywhere near there.
That's why I'm wondering. Like maybe it wasn't her. Maybe it was one of the other people we play
all
with.
5, Jack.
So now I'm like wondering, like maybe you and I could go on the server and you could confirm, like, no,
we'll check it out.
Yeah, because because the house is still there and everything's still in it. So I'm like,
because she moved the house. Because I told her because she jumped on. And I go, hey, I got to tell you, they were making this laser tag area, and then she like all excitedly looked at me. And she was like, yeah. She goes with the crossbow or bow and arrow or whatever she said.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah. I go, but you got to move your house. She's like, oh. I go, you're like right next to where they were going to build stuff.
And she said, like, fuck those dudes.
Yeah.
No, literally, she kind of looked at me and she goes, okay, no big deal. She's like, immediately got over it. She was totally cool. So I was like, yeah, just if you want to take all the stuff down, pack it up. And I showed her where I had kind of started a new house that was kind of close, and she was gonna. I kind of assumed from my conversation with her that she was gonna move in close to me, but she went like right back over there and built a different house.
I found another house like nearby, but then this house is
all
still
cobblestone.
Yeah,
that's hers.
Okay, that one's fine.
Okay,
it's just this one sandstone house. Like the wall was sharing the wall with where we were, and that was the space where we needed. Huh?
I'm just thinking sandstone house. I don't know.
That's some other asshole.
Maybe. But, like, we're building a hallway on the perimeter outside of the area so that you can, like, kind of, enter from the exterior, obviously, and kind of go around there. But when we build that hallway...
Did you say hot?
Yeah, he did.
Enter from the exterior?
I guess. But when we build that hallway, it's going to destroy the house, and so I'd rather talk to someone before I destroy their house. And I have to figure out whose house this is before I destroy their house. Okay.
Oh, well, she needed to start over anyways because it was all made out of dirt. So.
Oh, okay. This is all made out of sand and sandstone. So
hers was all dirt, and I was like, "Well, are you gonna replace the dirt with something else?" And she was like, "Yeah." Like, okay.
She showed
it's
me
the
her
starter house.
She showed me her other house, and it was dirt in a tree, and that
sounds like the worst house.
And it was really tall.
Dirt in a tree.
But whatever, like, it was fine. She had this very creative stairwell and everything. But that was way far from us. That wasn't anywhere near us. So that's why I was kind of confused. Like, I'm like, did she build it? Like, I don't know who this sandstone house is, and I got to figure out who it is before. I don't want to tear someone's house down without talking. We have like 4 people that play in the server. It's not that many people. So, But anyway, pro tip: if you are playing on a Minecraft server with other people, don't have your build touch someone else's build, because especially if they're still in the building phase.
Unless they like that.
Yeah, unless you talk to them about like their plans. Because the problem is like Matt and I have been on multiple multiplayer servers together trying to find like a nice little community where he and I could build something together, and it never fails. Whenever we start a project, someone comes and destroys the crap out of it. Like they build something right on top of it, or just start taking our stuff or something, and that's what happens on multiplayer. Well, we did this server thinking like, okay, this is ours. We know everybody. It's cool. We can build our thing. As soon as we start building our project, someone's touching our wall. It's like right in the way. He's like, forget it, Mom. I'm like, no, no, we're going to do this. So yeah, I was like, crap, I have to figure out who this is. Or just destroy their house, right?
Yeah, let's.
That seems like the more fun option.
Burn it. It's sand. I don't know if we can burn it. It's going to be glass.
Burn that motherfucker to the ground.
Pookie.
Come on, Pookie.
I heard you downloaded a new skin for your Minecraft guy.
I did. I look like Scruffy.
That's awesome.
The janitor.
My kids were like, did you make us look like, because we all use the same account, did you make us look like Santa Claus? It's like, what? Oh, that's right, I did that, didn't I? Oh, it's Scruffy the janitor. Who? Nah, don't worry about it.
I remember I took a long break from Minecraft and I came back and I had forgotten, like I was running around and I think Matt saw me. He's like, you're Ronald McDonald? Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I remember that. Yeah, we had that good night, the three of us.
Yeah.
And you were running around.
And I don't look at myself, so I'm just running around.
But you see those little like red and white striped arms just go.
Yeah, I guess.
'Cause I remember what Shannon was at the time. I think I was Fry from Futurama.
I'm just a girl now. I made my
Yeah.
own skin. It's just a generic girl.
Oh, you made that?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good.
Well, what I cheated. I downloaded a skin I almost liked and then changed the colors.
There you go. Awesome. Moving on to Crowfall?
We can finally talk about Crowfall. Last podcast,
Crowfall.
we had no idea what we were talking about, and we said so. We were very honest up and upfront about that, but no one knew. They had the big reveal in 2 days from our last recording, and it revealed they're on Kickstarter. Hooray! And not only were they launched on Kickstarter, but now, as of now, they're also funded. So, yay! It's happening very quickly for them. They asked for $800,000. They got it within a little over 3 days, I think. It wasn't, they didn't complete day 4 yet. They had already had the money, and they've got some news about what kind of game it actually is, because a lot of stuff was kind of mysterious still at the last time we were recording, but
They just kept on saying, look how pretty it is. Oh, wait, that was me.
we didn't have a lot to go on yet, but
But it was really pretty.
so last time we talked about Crowfall, we didn't really know anything about it. We were so vague and killed some time, but they were doing that big announcement, and they did it, and as stated, they went on to Kickstarter, which wasn't a surprise. They kind of announced that they were going on Kickstarter like early. Like it wasn't that big of an announcement. Like the countdown didn't match up with when they announced it. But whatever.
Yeah, like the fact that they had a countdown, like big reveal to say Kickstarter.
But I don't know if necessarily the big reveal was a Kickstarter, but with the Kickstarter, they revealed a ton of information about their game and gameplay and mechanics that really helped define it, because they kept saying like this is a new what were they saying, like this is gonna be like if you're tired of the old ways of MMOs, this is gonna be new, it's gonna be different. It's like, yeah, I've heard this so many times before. Like
Every MMO studio says that theirs is going to be not like another MMO.
Yeah, but then all they keep doing is pumping out the same MMO. So it was rather frustrating. And, they do tout a lot of history. The two creators, Gordon Walton, who was the executive producer of, like, Star Wars Galaxies, Ultima Online, those two games, have a lot of unique things about them that aren't in the big, the big MMOs today that are being, that get produced. And then J. Todd Coleman was the creative director of Shadowbane. And I'm not real familiar with Wizard 101 or Pirate 101, but they all three I do know. Like I never played those games, but I do know that they had major game mechanics that are not in the mainstream MMOs today. So
my kids both played some Wizard and Pirate 101.
Yeah.
It's quickly got to a point where they're like, well, we can't do anything else unless we pay money. Well, you're not playing that game anymore.
That's a shame. But I went into it really skeptical, and they have like these 3 tiers called time, destruction, and power. The time element is like, they say eternal heroes, dying worlds. So your hero, your character is forever. Like you make your character and that's your little, avatar in the game. But the worlds don't necessarily last forever. And that's where they're getting this voxel creation and this destructible world element. So each campaign world, like a world is a campaign. It exists for a set duration of time, which depends on whatever that campaign goal is, or, whatever the rule sets are for that campaign. Because every world can have its own rule sets. So whatever kind of player you are, you go to the world that plays the way you like to play. So what that does is it gives them so much flexibility. If something's really popular, they just kind of make that, they kind of focus on those worlds. And then if something is, really unpopular, like they don't have to boost the population for that world. And that gives them a lot of flexibility in terms of like launch. of being able to just pop up these extra worlds with these like player rules and stuff. Like I don't know what they're going to do, but it seems like it gives them a lot of flexibility that way.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, I mean, kinda. But I guess, like, my question is that, like, okay, you have this character that's your set character, you're going to be in a world that's only going to be around for a set amount of time.
Uh-huh.
What about, like, guilds? Like, what does that mean? I'm wondering...
There's kind of like a home planet, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
The Eternal area, whatever they called it.
Yeah, your Eternal area, and you can set up your kingdom there.
Okay.
And so you could have your whole guild and all that, but then, like, say Jason and I are like we're like feeling hardcore or whatever. We'll go into a campaign that's all like, because they'll have like a certain world where it's kind of like I saw the one description being like Terminator, where you can port into that world, but you can bring nothing with you. You have to acquire everything then in that campaign.
Oh yeah, because I get
people.
it, Terminator, because he showed up naked.
Yeah, so you'll have to acquire everything and then fight and then get through the campaign with the elements you get in that world. You can't bring anything back and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, you can, because he said, "I'll be back."
Yeah,
it's a Terminator world.
How good was Terminator, though, right?
But they can also play with those rules, because if something's not working, if a game mechanic turns out to be broken, well, then it's a dying world. That campaign dies. Your character goes back to its eternal kingdom, and they have multiple other worlds out there with different rule sets, and they don't they're not fixated on one type of rule set. They can kind of play with it and come up with new dynamic rule sets as they move on.
Interesting.
Yeah, like you have a choice as a player of like how you want to play though. It's not forced PvP or forced PvE or anything like that. You can kind of mix it up.
My question is more curiosity from the standpoint of, okay, if you have, we've been in multiple guilds before, and we've ran guilds, or I should say, Shannon, you've ran guilds before.
Ran them right into the ground.
Yeah, no, that was me.
That's true.
Thank you.
We've had a lot of different people in the guilds that all kind of like different things. So it's like, how does that mesh when you have certain people that really like the PvP element and certain people that really like the PvE element? And I just wonder how that actually works in Crowfall. Like, you have people that like different aspects of the game. Are you ever really going to be around each other then?
Yeah, and it seems like a type of thing where no one's going to know that until it comes out. And I hope, the premise sounds really cool, and I hope that they can cater to people. But I think, like, last week, I wasn't on the podcast, but I was listening to you, Shannon. You said it right in the, you said it perfectly. No MMO can please everybody. And this sounds like a PvP-focused MMO.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like hopefully they can cater to enough people who are getting excited about it. But for many people, I'm sure this is going to be something that they get excited about, but it's not going to be for them. And the Kickstarter video I watched, and it got my attention. Hope it's for me, but I doubt it's going to be for everybody.
But going off of the guild thing, one of our big issues is we have a situation where we have a group of people who get together or get along very well personality-wise, but our gameplay-wise do not mesh up. So we never make our whole group happy, no matter what MMO we're into. There's been, like, WildStar. I even called it Wild About WildStar for a month, because I organized it, but I was like, I'm here for a month, because I was not excited about WildStar at all. I kind of got into it a little bit, but it was totally a tourist thing for me. And but then we had people in the group who just loved WildStar, and they were like really bummed and not happy at all that I, had that mindset going into it. But on the other hand, they weren't really organizing a guild either, so it's frustrating that you're never going to please everybody with play styles and groups. But we just got through the time element. That's one of the 3 elements. But destruction is another element, and everything changes because it's a voxel-based game. If you need help understanding what a voxel-based game is, it's like what Minecraft is. It's like what Landmark is. It's where the entire world is full. It's an actual filled element rather than just a skinned layer that everything's like kind of just framed upon. So you can dig into the world and then there will be a visible hole. You can blow up something and there will be a visible chunk missing. But unlike Minecraft, unlike Landmark, this is not about building. Their voxel world is about destroying. That's where the worlds will die. And so your crafting is supposed to be a really big element in this game. As you're going in to conquer these worlds and win these campaigns, the harder the area, the better the resources. So it's a great incentive to go into those areas and harvest that material for the crafters, or lead your crafters in there. I'm not really sure like if the crafter has to do it himself or what, but they've made it very clear that it's very important to get in there and harvest before that world dies and get all the resources you can and bring them back and build your stuff. So yeah, apparently eating's going to be a big deal too. So crafting the food and harvesting like whatever elements in nature that you need to cook is going to be a big deal because hunger is a factor. It's not just like a bonus. Your character needs to eat.
Those voxels make people hungry.
They do. And then the last thing, the power, where your kingdom is your seat of power. They say if each campaign is like a soccer match, the eternal kingdoms encompass the entire season. Unlike the campaigns, like Jason was saying, the Eternal Kingdoms are permanent, and they are completely managed and owned by the players. So player monarchs divide up their domains into provinces, grant the lands to other players as they see fit, and then those players can kind of rule as they see fit as well. They can be like, very gracious rulers. They can be crazy tyrants. What they're likening this to is like EVE Online set in a fantasy setting.
That's kind of cool.
Could be cool.
Could be
cool. I'm nervous that I just coming out of Arcade, I saw how you had to be in a big guild or you weren't anything. You weren't going to get anywhere or do anything.
You're just going to get picked on
and you weren't ever going to be a part of things or anything like that. And I'm not a fan of games that don't have room for small guilds.
Yeah. Tight-knit communities.
That is one concern I have. The other thing I have is, other than EVE, I haven't seen any games really excel where you're fighting for player rulers rather than a set like role play side, like a faction. Like factions, like it kind of seems like successful, but when you have to play for player rulers, it seems like we saw in Arcade where entire guilds would turn on each other internally, and then
that was fun.
Were you guys disappointed by Arcade, or
no, not at all. And I guess if my understanding is like, I guess if I went into the game knowing that that's the understood part of the game, maybe it wouldn't be so massively crazy to me as it was. But didn't Age of Conan kind of have that fight for you fought for your guild, like your land area was like
it was
a guild
versus guild, but
yeah, and that didn't work out well at all.
Well, I don't know if that wasn't Age of Conan's problem.
Well,
it was the story instance stuff that decidedly disappeared
after level 20.
Yeah. That's the game completely changed after you hit level 20. I don't know. I've heard some tales that the PvP in Age of Conan was actually good, but like there was so few people playing by that point where it wasn't what it could have been.
Gotcha. So I guess I'm not convinced like I'd want to play for another player. What would make me invest in that dude? Because we kind of got screwed over a couple of times in Arcade by people,
the players.
Yeah, by the players that we were trusting and stuff. So
it works in an EVE. It works in a setting like EVE when there's no like computer control. Like EVE is mostly just everything in the game is by the players. So that it totally makes sense that you would have player-run corporations and everything that goes into that, and like the espionage and all that shit. I mean, that's why EVE is so good, is because it's so open. If Crowfall's not a completely just open to be player-made sort of game, then I know that it's trying to add in a lot of that. But if it's not complete, then I don't know if that's going to work out for it.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would rather personally have like a lore backing as to why I'm fighting for a side rather than the ups and downs of a player-run society.
The trials and tribulations of a young man.
Yes.
I guess. I kind of get excited about that idea of being involved in like that type of community, but at the same time, there's a reason why I never played Eve. I do not have time for it.
I got really involved the last time I went,
I know.
and it was really interesting, I gotta say. It was really fucking interesting.
Yeah, it sounded awesome. I remember you talking about it.
But man, the game itself, that is the reason why I didn't get more into it than I did. It's so time consuming and such a slog.
Like that's the game you play.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, through all the doubts and the hesitation and whatever, they do say enough that's interesting and that does actually seem like they're holding true to that. We are trying some new things in the MMO
really
genre,
pretty.
and it's really pretty. So I did pick the $30 package, which is gone on the Kickstarter, because this game seems like it's a pretty safe bet that it's going to get made, unless these people just totally wig out and go to...
Which is not unheard of.
Yeah, I don't...
True.
I retweeted a spreadsheet that someone in Gaming Press had put together of all the Kickstarter video games, and it's a scary number of how many are just like on the spreadsheet. Oh, you know, they left. Like there are no updates. The game's not coming out.
Wow.
That's why, like the $30, this is the second video game I've ever kickstarted on Kickstarter, but I would never put over more than I felt comfortable of losing. Like I'm okay, $30. I'll follow the development, but I could not understand people who would put out like $100 or whatever. Fine, but I'm putting out $30 knowing if nothing comes out, then I learn my lesson. Like I'm not going to freak out about it.
Right. Yeah, I've only backed a couple Kickstarters, and both times I was like, these are pretty sure things. I felt comfortable enough that I would get an end product, and both times I did. So, on this one though, I'm so oddly picky on MMOs that I didn't feel comfortable doing it myself.
You're not oddly picky. You buy everyone, but you're oddly picky 2 weeks after you buy it.
Exactly.
So what I'm going to do is pay $30 and save myself $20.
Hopefully.
Yeah, as long as it comes out.
But you might have wasted $30.
I guess.
But like my point is, okay, if I waste $30, I waste $30.
No, you're absolutely right.
$30.
$2
Cash.
But the stretch goals came out. The current stretch goal they're working on that I don't know if they've met yet at the exact moment. The female centaurs and particle effects, enhanced particle effects.
Why female centaurs?
Because the male centaurs were already promised.
They didn't just do both?
Right.
What?
Yes. So now they're going.
Is it really that hard?
I don't know, but I really, really dislike when some MMO says, "Oh no, there's no male of this race." Like, I really hate that.
Yeah, we're looking at you, Warhammer Online.
They say there's no female of this race, so there's no male of this. Like, I don't like when they're like, "What? That doesn't make any sense." And it's clearly a boy.
They gave you the witch elf, Shannon. Shut up.
Why in the hell would there not be a female version of a model?
Or of chaos. Like, chaos females are completely prevalent in the Warhammer lore.
Warhammer?
Yeah, okay, well,
they were
shut up about
totally
it.
in the lore. Okay, never mind. But yeah, that I really dislike when there's not
Zealots
both
were only male.
genders. No, that's not true at all. You're wrong.
Was
That
it
was no, it's a
Wait, what was
chosen.
Chosen? Oh yeah, Chosen.
Chosen
That's
were
what-
only males for absolutely no reason.
No, actually, in the lore there were female chosen. But anyway.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay, but also particle effects was one of the Kickstarter goals, right?
Welcome to the Where Warhammer Went Wrong hour.
That's a long podcast.
They want to they're not real happy with where their particle effects are at this time. They said that they have one artist kind of doing the job of like multiple artists right now, and he's kind of stretched a bit too thin.
Okay, I got a story about that. Particle effects are a Kickstarter stretch goal, and on our son's spelling test, he got particle right. Coincidence? Absolutely. right,
This is
go
awesome.
ahead.
And you can kind of tell we're kind of given these.
Stop calling you Derek Jeter.
We have
Oh, fucking home runs.
we kind of have these like these excitements and these doubts and these questions about like the things they're saying, and of course we won't be able to nail a lot of it down until almost up until launch. But right now, like, there's already podcasts out for Crowfall. This game isn't coming out until, okay, it's saying delivery December 2016, but we all know that's July 2017, right? Can we all just agree with that?
Yeah.
Wait, whoa, 2017? Jesus.
Well, because they're saying delivery December 2016. It's generally there's generally, okay, I'm not saying they're going to do it, but there's always a 6-month delay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
in every
I
MMO
like that this game is
since
so
the dawn of
far
time.
off and you guys kickstarted it. By the time it comes out, be like, oh shit, yeah, I did totally pay
Yeah.
that money.
Yeah. That's my big issue with every Kickstarter. When I select my backing category, and when I go to check out, it's always estimated delivery. I'm like, fuck this. But this is the one I did. But yeah, you're right. I'm gonna forget it's like free game at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to be like, you have to pay money. Actually, you know what's going to happen? We're going to be so uber hyped up for this game. We're going to like, but I want the collector's edition now.
Yeah.
How do I upgrade? Yeah.
Nah, Crowfall coming 2018.
Drop the mic. Hey guys,
Yeah.
I did, in fact, watch the season finale of Agent Carter.
You did watch it.
I did. I speedily got through it as fast as I could right before jumping on the podcast.
Did you like it?
It was really good.
It was really good. It's a great season.
Yes. Oh my god. I really
I think
hope they...
it totally benefited from, and I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would be well to take a cue from this, of smaller seasons, and you don't have to fill up 24 episodes.
Yeah, totally.
I think it was 8 episodes. It was amazing.
Concise.
Yeah, every episode felt... there was not like one wasted episode where you're like, yeah, they didn't really need that.
Right. Yeah, there was it felt like they had a story to tell.
Yeah.
And they squeezed it into each of those episodes as they saw fit, and it made complete sense.
Yep. Hope they get renewed.
I really do. It kind of let off like, yeah, this could totally just get picked up for the next season.
Yeah.
I'm still iffy on whether there should be more than 2, but we'll see where the second one goes if they get it.
It was just confirmed this last week that she's in Avengers 2.
She
in
is?
some capacity, yeah.
Like a flashback or something?
I'm assuming, but yeah, Haley Atwell's in it.
That's cool.
Yeah, she is a good girl.
Real quick, we don't have to keep on it. But 2 things. Tell me what I need to know about Kingsman.
Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it.
It is so good.
I've heard, and I want to see it.
It
but
is.
I'm probably going to end up being the one
Completely inappropriate, but awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What do you mean inappropriate.
It is a very hard R.
What?
It's a very hard R rating.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
because of
tons of swearing, violence. I mean,
okay.
It's the same guy who did Kick-Ass, so it's...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's along that...
Now I get what you mean.
Yeah, but it's really good. It's one of the best action movies I've seen in years.
Huh.
The ridiculous spy movie, like, it was just fantastic. Yeah. I loved it. And the guy, what's that guy's name? The actor.
Taron, something. He's supposedly in line
Kringleberry?
Yeah, sure.
No, I don't know.
No. I can't. It's like a really British name, Taron something. He is a big rumored to be Han Solo in the reboot, spinoff.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah, the character arc he goes through is really good, and he is tons of charisma. And at the beginning of the movie, I thought he was going to be the weak link, since he was kind of like the younger main character.
I kind of, I can't talk about it because I don't want to give it away for other people.
No problem.
I kind of thought I was kind of surprised by how things turned out. I guess I'll say that.
Yeah,
it was pleasantly so.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
No, it's the most fun I've had in the theater since Guardians, which it hasn't been that long, but outside of Guardians, it's the most fun I've had since I don't remember when at the movies.
Good. I will have to check it out. But lastly,
take the kids.
No, probably not. Because the way you're talking about it.
No, the last scene is amazing. Last frame. Once you see it, you're gonna love it.
All right. You know what? Let's just cut it there because we're well over time, and we'll save. We want to talk about. I want you to spill beans on the new Nintendo 3DS
Next time.
and we'll talk about some handheld. So let's talk about that next time.
Look forward to that.
That's a tease.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, SLURMS. Until next time. Okay.
Until next time.
SLURMS. Until next time. Where can people find you?
Me?
Yeah.
In Fort Wayne.
I'm in Indiana.
No, like stupid. You just say like what?
I don't know why they'd want to find me.
Sure. Just go to the local minor league basketball games. They'll be there.
Give out your
I
Twitter
was.
information
I got to see-
and your
what's that
podcast and your blog information. You idiot.
What was that guy's name? Joe.
Oh God. All right. You know what? Fuck you. Never mind.
Guys.
I don't remember that guy's name. Anyways, we'll talk about it next time. I am on.
Well, gentlemen, no point in hanging around this dump any longer.
Wait! Where are you going?
I was going to make espresso.
Show's over, folks.
You can't go. All the plants are going to die. Take off, eh?
Thanks for listening to Multiplaying, the companion podcast at multiplaying.net. Questions, comments, feedback, errors, etc. can be sent to multiplaying@gmail.com. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.multiplaying.net.
We've made a lot of friends, shared a lot of laughs, often at the expense of others.
I think some people are going to be upset.
Let me just close this conversation by saying you are one unique individual.
Thank you and good night.